What's up, guys? Right here with another look at some figures around this week. Today we're looking at the Mondo 1/6 scale Batman animated series Harley Quinn action figure. Now, every single year I usually get myself a Christmas gift. I kind of spoil myself. And this year, I mean, there was a few things on my list, but definitely that's been on my list for a very long time is this Harley Quinn figure. Of course, you know, with Mondo, I've been collecting a lot of their different lines. We got Masters Universe, we got X-Men, and then now we got some Thundercats. But now, of course, you know, I do have some of the Batman animated series, but only I have Man-Bat and Clayface. They're the only two that I have, but I've been wanting the rest. And this one I had my eye on for a very long time. And the only thing, though, is I only wanted the Time edition. I eventually probably would have caved in if I couldn't get a timed edition with a good price. You know, I got the regular version, but I really, really, really wanted this version. And right now, the eBay prices were just too much high. They were like $600-700, you know, and that's a problem if you don't get some of these figures right away, or, you know, during the time it comes out. eBay prices will kill you. So, I had this particular one came up on eBay, and originally the seller was gonna sell her for $500, and I was like, damn. But he had a best offer on there, and I said, well, let me see if he'll take one of my offers. And I shot him an offer, and he took it, and I said, screw it, I'm taking it. So, you know, all in all, definitely one of my, I guess maybe it is one of the most expensive ones I got aftermarket. But still, even though I think it's a decent price compared to what, you know, what they're normally coming from. Now, the only thing that the sellers mentioned was that there was a defect on the box, and I'll show it to you in a second. But other than that, I did overlook the figure, and she does look great. And we'll look detailed into it in my review. But as you can see, this box is gorgeous. Harley Quinn, big fan of the Batman animated series, like I said before. I remember when it came out after Batman Returns, and I just loved it. I felt like it didn't feel like a cartoon. It felt like a kind of like a, you know, like a regular TV show, like a you know, and had the drama, had all that, and it didn't seem too childish in a sense. So, and I remember they were talking about this, that actually Harley Quinn was introduced in that show, which is kind of phenomenal, and she became a cult phenomenon. I mean, she's everywhere. And the crazy thing about it is, like, when Masters of the Universe and you know, G.I. Joe came out, I was a kid, right? And of course I remember collecting all the figures, and when I get them, I kind of go back to that nostalgia. Well, with Batman the Animated Series, I never collect any of their figures, even though I think I should have. I don't think at that time I was interested in toys or action figures. So to get this now as a 1/6 scale figure, you know, it's pretty cool. I'm really actually happy about it. So as you can see, the box is a beautiful artwork. You can see Harley Quinn in the front, looking really cool. I'm really liking this box. One thing though is I noticed that it doesn't say on the box timed edition or exclusive. Usually they're exclusive now, I guess probably after the fact, because I think this figure is about 2 years old, maybe 3. I'm not really too sure, but it is an older figure. So, you know, with that being said, of course, they probably changed it and put on the newer figures, they put time edition so you can tell which is the difference. I made sure that I knew I was getting this. I didn't want to spend extra money for a regular version, you know. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and look more about the packaging. On the side here, it shows Harley Quinn, as you can see, Batman Animated Series. On the other side is the same thing. And back here, we got the logo of the Batman Animated Series, which is really cool, you know. And of course, here you have, as you can see, a lot of the people are behind it, and you know, this is a collector's model, not a toy. So, you know, I'm not gonna go and throw everything around. All right. So the defect in the box is actually where you pop open, and there's like a tear, right? You can't really see it. There's a tear right there. So that's the only thing I saw, but I wasn't really mad about that because, like I said, you know, this one is really cool. Here's a figure inside. She's looking really cool. All the extra head sculpts, all the accessories, and then this lovely, lovely portrait. And the number one reason why I wanted the time edition, and it's these two guys right here. God, I forgot the names of them. What is it on the box? I gotta see. But anyway, I forgot the names of the hyenas, but this is the main reason why I wanted the whole timed edition version. All right, so let's get her out of this packaging to get a closer look at the Mondo 1/6 scale timed edition Harley Quinn figure. All right, here's Harley Quinn out of the packaging, looking very spectacular, very gorgeous. Loving the reds and the blacks. Just, I mean, you know, it's signature, you know, animated look that she had in the show. So it's really cool that they transitioned this really easily into figure form. The head sculpt on her is the regular one that does come with the figure. The one that, you know, is also, you know, the regular release too. So, so it's very interesting, and I'll get into the head sculpts in just a second. But let's go ahead and do her head to toe. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move the camera just down like this a little bit, and then maybe in a little bit like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at her head sculpt. All right, so there's basically she is grinning, being happy with those doty eyes. Really cool, red and the blacks. And you say, of course, they got that, you know, that cell shading on the head sculpt there. And then, yeah, I mean, it looks exactly like the animated series. The collar in that white, and then the accent here. I'm not sure if in the show these had bells or not. I'm not really sure. I kind of think they would have, because it's, you know, she's wearing a jester costume, like a, you know, but yeah. All right, so we got, of course, the chest piece. You got the, you know, the blacks on this side and the red on this side, and then on the bottom it goes the opposite. So, you know, and then articulation, I'm a little nervous because, you know, this is, you know, but she looks good. I mean, there's a little swivel here, not terribly, but a little, you know, doesn't go that too much. I'm not gonna mess with it. It's kind of strong there. And then you got the little arm bracelet here, kind of go with the costume. You got those diamonds here, red diamonds on this side, and then the black diamonds are on the bottom here for this side. You got that cell shading, that darker red maroon color here. And then on the hands, you got the gloves, an open hand here where she's kind of gesturing. I got nervous here because I guess the buyer, or not the buyer, the seller had them switch, and I was trying to get it out without breaking. I get nervous on that. But I'm sure since Mondo's getting more of these, I think if anything happens, they'll probably hook me up, but we'll see. I just can't break the hyenas. All right, and you got, here's a body right here, the midsection. Got the diamonds on the butt there, you know. I mean, of course, this is a used figure, so there's a little bit of scrapes in there on there, a little rare, but nothing crazy. And then going down the legs, here's that. I think maybe that may be a manufacturer thing, because there's one on this side also. Got those diamonds on the side. You got the red coming down, the black diamonds here. And that's really cool how they put them. Of course, there's articulation here. Not all the way up, but that's all it goes. I mean, it might go more, but I'm not doing that because I don't want to break it. Here's the black side on this side. You got the the two red diamonds here. And then, yeah, this is all it goes. And then you got the little booties, you know. There's not a swivel, just up and down, you know. And that's basically it. You got the black boot and the red boot on the opposite sides of the leotard. So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely Harley Quinn. I mean, this is definitely a figure that, you know, it's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and I'll just go ahead and stand her up. We're gonna look at the different accessories. First of all, we're gonna start with the hands. This version comes with 4 different sets. So let's see here. You got some gripping hands. Of course, you got the red and the black versions. There's a lot of, she does come with a lot of accessories. So, and I did do a little bit of research on this figure. Here's a little bit open hands, open grip hands here. Here you go. All right. Here, another sort of gripping hands. Wait. Okay. Hands. And then here, or this one here. Okay. Alrighty then. Just put those right there. Alright. Let's go and look at the head sculpts. So the regular version only comes with 2 head sculpts, and it is the one that I just showed you, and then this one, the screaming one, which looks really cool. I really like this one. She looks really angry there. Very funny. Okay. I was hoping it'd stay like that, but it doesn't. Alright. And then the exclusive one, time edition, comes with this one here, like on a smirking, kind of devious face there. And then here's another grinning one, but with the eyes open. I like that one. That was really cool. And like I said, everything's the same for just the facial. I mean, you got to get to Mondo with their facial expressions. And then finally, we get to see what she looks like without the masks. I mean, this is gorgeous. Honestly, like the likeness to the cartoon is insane. Also, and then at first I thought this thing on the lip was messed up or something, but no, it's actually the paint on there. So, like I said, if you get to end up getting the regular version, this head here and the one that's on her are the only ones that are going to be offered. So let's just move these over here. They don't want to stay. All right. Okay, she does come with a purse, which is pretty cool. You know, that doesn't open or anything, but it's all in this white plastic, and you got that shading of the gray here. So it's really neat. And then she comes with a perfume bottle. You know. Okay. And then she comes with a mannequin hand, which I'm trying to remember when the episode what she uses for. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then Joker's Spectre. Specters? I don't know how to say it. That's really cool. I like that. And then, oddly, we get a Batman utility belt. So I'm not sure if this goes on. Or I remember an episode where she stole this and she had it. So that's probably why we have it here. But I'm not sure if it can go on the Batman. I don't have him to check, but maybe later when I get him, I'll do that. And then here is paperwork on Harley Quinn from Arkham Asylum. It says that she is sane. You know. And it's really cool that this figure was introduced at that time, you know, in the animated series, and she became a phenomenal icon. Like they love her. They even did a movie about her, you know. Not the Harley Quinn I wanted, but, you know, hopefully, you know, DC gets it together. We get something else coming, but, you know, we'll see. And then here's our gavel. Big. Boom, boom. Knock you out. Knock the socks out. And then now we got some other accessories. For the reason why I got this accessory set is because, so the reason why I got this set And I wanted the time edition was because of the two wonderful accessories that come with it, or pets, I could say. But here's their accessories, and first we come up with the steak. Yummy, yummy. The bowl, you know, pet bowl. Got that little thing there. No worries, I'm not mad about that. And then the bone. And the reason why I got this was for two of the main characters. And we have them here. Bud and Lou, the hyenas. And I absolutely love the way these look. I mean, there was a deluxe set back in the day with Harley Quinn and that Mattel. I mean, not Mattel. No, was it Mattel? I guess it was Mattel. They had a set for the animated series, and they did have a set where you would get both hyenas. So I never got a chance to get any of those. But I loved it, and I thought about it. But here is, you know, the first facial. Yeah, I'm not sure which one's which, but you know, Bud and what did I say? Bud and Lou. Bud and Lou. And here's the other one. Of course, he's got his tongue sticking out, like he's hungry. That's, you know, same exact body type. You know, no articulation, but yeah, definitely number one reason why I got this set was because of those two. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to put them on display. And of course, there's a stand that comes with it. He didn't use it, so, and like I'm seeing on Harley Quinn, she actually can stand with no problem. So I'm excited that that is an option, because I would hate for her to fall over in the middle of the night. So let's get her on my well, I'm not gonna put her on a turntable, but let's set her up real quick with the hyenas to get my final thoughts on the 1/6 scale Mondo Batman the Animated Series Harley Quinn Time Edition figure. All right, here are my final thoughts on the Mondo 1/6 scale Harley Quinn figure from the Batman Animated Series. I am in love with this. I'm so glad I was able to grab her. And for a decent price, like I said, I mean, the original price for her was a lot less. I believe it was like $200, I think. So, of course, you know, that was 2 or 3 years ago. So, definitely, you know, for me to get it for the price I got it, I think I did a pretty good job considering. Now, you cannot get the timed edition, but you can pre-order her, the regular version, which doesn't come with a lot of, it's missing quite a few of the accessories. I believe the 3 of the head portraits you can't get. Of course, the hyenas are not going to be included with their steak and bones and all that stuff. So if that's for you, you know, for me, I had to have them. I was not going to grab this any other way. Maybe I would have. I mean, I don't know. I wish, well, I mean, I don't know. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish they didn't have time editions. I mean, I guess they want to make money, and so make a little bit more money. But if they make them so cool, like, people are going to buy them anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? It only benefits the scalpers when they do this, you know? Luckily, I don't think the seller that I got it for as a scalper, he, you know, if he charged me $600 or $700, that probably would have stayed in his collection, because I'm not doing that. But, you know, I mean, I don't know, you know, but from now on, like, I'm paying attention to Mondo, whichever, you know, releases are coming out. And like I said earlier, when I get the rest of them, all of them not getting the timed editions, because, you know, some, you know, like Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, she comes with like 2 babies and a thing. I mean, I don't know if I really need that. Scarecrow, there's like 2 other head sculpts, you know, one of his regular face, and I'm not sure if I want to use those, so I'm not really you know, if I can get them at a decent price, I'll get them, but I'm not going to pay what I paid like for her, because the only reason why I said I paid for this much for her was because of these 2 guys right here, and that's what I wanted, so I got what I wanted. But anyway, like I said, like, if you want this figure, you know, you'd have to get a secondary market, but luckily, like I said, they're re-releasing a lot of them, so You can pre-order them. I believe it's $250 or $260 to get her, and they're gonna charge you for tariffs, unfortunately. So you're looking at about $300. So for me, I think I kind of won because just for $100 more, I get the accessories. So that's cool. And like I said, she's in great condition. The seller took a good care of her. I don't see any imperfections. I see a little bit of things that are kind of a little bit of concerning, but I'm not worried. All right, so do you have her in your collection? What do you think of her? Do you think Mondo or somebody should redo the 6-inch line and do them better? I know McFarlane was, but when I saw them, they just seem too puny. I think we need a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit bigger. I mean, would you collect them if they re-released them? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, we will see you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe.